Fresh crops and vegetables are a farmer's pride and a consumer's delight. Not only do they help bring in fair prices for farmers' efforts, but they are crucial to keeping the population healthy. However, a serious challenge threatens the journey of produce from farm to table: post-harvest losses. These losses can occur in several ways: a decrease in the weight of produce, damage caused by bacteria and mold, and harm from bruises or cuts. Additionally, there can be a decline in quality, such as the loss of nutrients, taste, and texture. Fortunately, post-harvest losses can be minimized by using cold storage. If you're wondering why cold storage is important, let's hear from senior food scientist Dr. Daniel Onwude on the hidden dangers crops face at room temperature and what strategies farmers can use to extend the shelf life of their harvest.
Once a crop is harvested by a farmer, he or she needs to think about reducing the temperature as quick as possible. And there are several ways to do this. Some of the ways include keeping it under natural shade, and also the use of passive cooling system or evaporative cooling system. By doing so, they would tend to reduce the rate of respiration, slow down ripening, reduce moisture loss, and increase shelf life.
Are you curious to see how storage temperature impacts the quality of your fruits and vegetables? We've set up a little experiment in our cold room to compare tomatoes stored in a cool, controlled environment and some left out at room temperature. Let's see what happens to them over time.
So these are fresh tomatoes, they just came into the oven. But the special thing is that your tomato can have just two features. It can be this or this. Now, the thing here is, both of them have been out for 2 weeks. And you have this, they have been inside the farm for 2 weeks, while these have been outside for 2 weeks. You can see the way this is. You can decide if your tomatoes will be like this or this. And the only way to make it fresh is by storing inside the cold room. If it's inside the cold room, there are a lot of benefits. They are fresh whenever you need to sell them, and you have to sell more. If a basket of this should sell for 20,000 naira, a basket of this will sell for about 7,000 naira, which is more than 50% different. You don't want to incur that loss because you refuse to keep your products inside the cold. So for this, keeping your produce, keeping your fruits and vegetables inside the cold room will make them fresh always. And then keeping them outside, this is what you get. And before you know it, this is what you get. You don't want that. So cold storage for fruits and vegetables is just the best option for you.
Eye-opening, isn't it? The tomatoes stored in the cold room are clearly fresher, almost like they were just picked. In contrast, the ones left out have suffered a dramatic decline. But why do crops stay fresher longer when kept cool? Let's check with Dr. Onwude.
This is a tomato that we stored inside the cold room for a period of time. You could see that the tomato is very fresh, and this is the benefit of cooling. Why is this tomato very fresh? It's because the rate of ripening is being reduced by cooling, which also reduces the transpiration rate and the loss of moisture. Cooling also slows down the respiration rate, which is something we humans can also connect with. Another thing cooling does is that it inhibits microbial growth. Now what happens is over time, the freshness will be preserved. The shelf life will be very long, and the farmers could store their crops and then sell at a very good rate.
Keeping track of your harvest can be a challenge. That's why the Your Virtual Cold Chain Assistant project has developed an app called Cultivate.
Now, what Cultivate does is that it enables different users, including farmers and also the operators of the cooling room, to see in real time the remaining shelf life of the produce. And by that information, They could communicate among themselves. The operator can tell the farmer when to pick up their produce. The farmers can also see, using the farmer's interface of Cultivate, how the quality of their crops is changing over time. And then they will be able to know when to pick up their produce. So these features are available on the app called Cultivate.
Tired of watching your harvest wilt? Keep your fruits and vegetables fresher for longer. Download the free Cultivate app and find the nearest cold storage facility right at your fingertips.